What do you mean you got a new car? What kind of fucking minimalist are you? I gotta admit, over the past month or so, I've pretty much dropped the ball on minimalism. Now, keep in mind, I'm still living in a small room, still doing all of the things, necessary to not overcomplicate my life, but I do feel that I dropped the ball when it comes to debt. I would pay off some debts and then incur new ones. And one of the debts I've incurred is a vehicle. Now, for a while, I've wanted to car camp and do road trips, and now that those things are on the table because I bought a Prius. I sold the old car, and but I have some debt to go with this Prius, and I'm working it off via Uber, which I know pisses a lot of people off, but I gotta say, it fills in the gaps nicely when I need to pay things like, loans. It comes in handy to have other ways of filling in the gaps, because, I don't make a shit ton of money through YouTube. That's been improving over time as I work hard to bring you guys content and to really push the envelope with the amount of content I produce and get out there to you guys. But at the same time, I, have other things. I have to do my photography. I've just been booked for more shoots this year. So that's going to be something that takes up some time. And I have upgraded a lot of my gear, not only for this channel, but my camera gear in general. I've been working on upgrading, selling off old equipment, upgrading to the next step, until that equipment pays for itself. So but I do feel that I need to downsize some of the extra crap that's floating around. I have, stuff that I don't use that's taking up space that I need to get rid of. And it's, I've been procrastinating and dragging my feet. And one of the things that has led me to all of these life-changing experiences that have happened since I've quit trucking was getting rid of the clutter, getting rid of the things holding me down. And there are some things holding me down. So of course, my biggest failure as a minimalist has been accruing more debt. I'm going to strive to pay that shit down, as client work comes in for photography. Of course, you guys contributing on YouTube definitely helps me pay the bills. And Uber as necessary to fill that in, which since I've got a Prius now, I'm getting 50 miles to the gallon, which is a huge boost to hourly rate when it comes to Uber. I know a lot of people hate Uber. I know that there's a lot of trash talking. Oh, you only make $6 an hour. Well, you pick your battles. If you're only making $6 an hour, then maybe that's not your night to work. You need to work when the demand is there. And sometimes there's competition for the demand. There's nights that should be busy but aren't because there's too many drivers out there. And you just kind of pick your battles. If you're going out and doing this and it's slow for you, then you should not fucking do it. You should straight up take it easy that night. Take the night off and apply your skills to some other income stream, which is what I do. You know, if I need to work Uber, but I'm not pulling in, you know, enough for my time, you know, I value my time at least $20 an hour. And if I'm not making that, I don't work Uber, you know. But if I pick and choose when I work and I try and do so at peak times, I get there. And that's what's important. So I'm getting back on the ball with minimalism. So what am I going to do this year? Because I have big plans this year. I want to do some travel. I want to do some road trips. But I don't want to spend a lot of money. And that's one of the reasons I invested in this car. It's a 2015 Prius. Not brand new. It's 3 years old. I did obey that rule. Never buy a car newer than 3 years old so you don't lose money on depreciation. But it is newer than I originally wanted. I wanted to get something in the neighborhood of 9 years old, you know, which would have saved me another few grand in debt. But, you know, this kind of jumped out at me. It only has 33,000 miles on it. Priuses are known for longevity and for economy, you know. And I can fold down the back seat, throw a fucking mattress in there, and sleep, and only burn a gallon of gas at night. So I essentially don't have to buy lodging anywhere, road trips that involve driving. I can sleep in the car. I can go to truck stops just like I used to for 14 years. I can travel on the cheap. And gas, you know, is it's not as efficient on the highway. It's like 40-something miles to a gallon, but it's still twice as efficient as my last car and like 3 times as efficient as my pickup truck used to be. So, but I do feel that I've overdone it. I have bought one thing that, you know, is questionable from a minimalist perspective, but I use it a lot. So, and that's the important thing. Minimalism isn't about, you know, whether or not you have nice things. It's whether or not you use the things you have. Whether or not they bring enough value to offset the time it took you to earn the money to make that happen. I have been working a lot of extra Uber. You know, that's why one of the reasons I'm sitting in this car right now is I plan on working Uber. But I just kind of wanted to share with you guys the fact that I do have a better vehicle now that will allow me to travel on the cheap. But I did fuck up and accrue some more debt during this process. Even though I've recently paid off some of my other debts, like I've finally covered that Disney trip. And I gotta say, from a minimalist perspective, the value I got out of the Disney trip wasn't commensurate with what I had to do to pay for it, as far as you know, time versus money and stuff. And I did work a lot of extra Uber to pay that debt off. However, my trip to St. Lucia, which was mostly financed, you know, through work, you know, a barter, a trade of photography work for, you know, the kind of a workcation type deal, which it was. I did work every day that I was in St. Lucia, but it was work that I love. I love taking pictures. I love making images. And I've kind of developing a further passion to continue to be able to make images going forward. And I've been invited back because of that, how good that trip was, is how well I applied my work. They were very happy with the pictures. I, you know, delivered in the neighborhood of almost 700 pictures, I think it was. I still have to do the video, but now the pictures are done, finally. It took me a few weeks, you know, spreading my time in between other things, other income streams and other jobs, to get that trip paid for, so to speak, with the work I had to do in post, not to mention the work I did on the thing. But it was worth every second, because that experience was life-changing. And I am working on that video this week. That's why I'm cranking out 2 videos tonight, filming, and I'll edit them and upload them over the next few days. But this week, I'm going to nail down the St. Lucia video, share with you my experience down there, and how I'm looking forward to another trip now because of leaving trucking. If I would not have left trucking, if I would not have diversified my income into small, self-employed income. You know, I'm not setting the world on fire with income. I make I'd say about a quarter of what I made in trucking. But yet things are happening in my life that I never was able to do while I was trucking. And it's weird how it's working. It's almost boggles my mind. I lose focus on how much, you know, I've done since I left trucking, and how many things I've accomplished, how many people I've been able to help because I've been able to produce more content, and the travel experiences I've now had and will continue to have. You know, I'm planning a road trip here in May. That's a pleasure type road trip. I'm going to a concert in North Carolina. For those of you interested who might want to meet up, I'm going to Carolina Rebellion this year. You know, I'm working some extra Uber this week to buy my ticket, and I'm going to car camp. I'm going to go down there and stay, and I'll film some of it, of course, but I don't think I can bring full equipment. I can bring my phone in, so I'll film some shit with my phone while I'm there, so I can keep uploading some videos and shit. But overall, it's, you know, it's a trip that I probably wouldn't have pulled off in trucking because I'd be so fucking busy trucking. I want to travel. I want to get out there. I want to go out into the wilderness. I want to go hiking. I want to make images. I want to do time lapses. I want to share some adventure videos with you guys in addition to the normal stuff that I put out. You know, don't get me wrong. I like talking about keto. I like talking about fasting, but I feel that minimalism, travel on the cheap, adventure, that kind of stuff has its place on my channel because it does convey some of the other aspects of lifestyle that we can improve to improve our mental health, our physical health, and just our happiness in general. A lot of people are, you know, so caught up in the grind of corporate America that they never get to experience some of these things. And I was one of them. And since I've broken free from that environment and, you know, become my own boss, and I'm taking care of my own day-to-day life through, you know, running businesses, becoming an entrepreneur over being a corporate guy. And I'm doing all of this with minimal college education. I have my military background. I have my trucking background. Trucking does, in a way, teach you how to be your own boss because they're just telling you where to go and when to be there. It's our responsibility to do everything else, including manage our own time. And time management's a thing I'm struggling with. I do find it difficult that sometimes my ambitions and workload exceeds my ability to do it, and I do risk burnout from time to time. I need to manage that as well. That's another part of minimalism I need to explore, is time management. Not spending time doing things that aren't bringing value either to my business or my life. And right now I'm heavy on the business side. I research constantly. I'm constantly answering messages. I'm constantly working on the website. I'm doing all of these things. You know, I'm been getting better. This last weekend, I took the weekend off. I might have answered an email or two or a message here and there, but I didn't do anything that took up too much fucking time. All right. I did what I had to do, and that's all I could do. Like everything else I fuck up on, minimalism now currently being one of them, I'm getting back on the horse. I'm going to get rid of this debt as quickly as possible. I'm going to continue to make cuts in things that are holding me down. I've pretty much done spending money for a while because I've got all my gear upgrades that I want for right now. There's a few pieces of video gear I still need that I will probably work towards through Uber. But overall, you know, I need a gimbal to stabilize to do mobile video shots. So that's on my list of upgrades still. And I could probably use another video light, but I can get by without it. That's why they made reflectors and shit. You know, I'm doing things for my business. I did do a little bit for my pleasure. I did buy an Xbox I think it was when the Xbox One X came out, I bought it. And so I have done a few things for pleasure, but, with not easily, not lightly. I did them knowing that I would be able to dedicate some time to it. Although during the week, I don't do anything really pleasurable. I'm working pretty much Monday through Friday, almost nonstop. From the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, I'm either researching, which isn't demanding. It's watching and listening to podcasts and reading books and that kind of stuff. Or I'm filming, or I'm managing messages on the website, or I'm answering emails, or I'm fucking going out and working Uber, or I'm working my part-time job at the bar. So, I keep myself really busy during the week, and I'm trying to structure it to where on the weekends I'm not busy. But, there's going to be times this year where I'm going to want to travel. I'm going to have to take some work with me. Mainly the channel and photography are the only two things I can take with me and travel and do for income. But overall, that's what I'm looking to do. So you'll be seeing a lot more of me this year in this vehicle instead of in front of the fucking green screen. And that's the other thing. I've been filming a whole lot in front of the fucking green screen. I need to get out more. I feel like I've been hibernating all fucking winter. I haven't gotten out and really experienced the world as much as I should be, and I miss it a little bit. I get so caught up in sitting in that fucking chair, working the channel, working the fucking editing, and not just for YouTube but for photography. I spend a lot of time editing as well, and I need to be able to get out here. I need to shoot more. I need to get out and practice my photography. I need to practice my videography because I'm looking to expand into being a hybrid shooter. On top of being a YouTuber, it helps to have some fucking video skills. So I'm doing all of that. And I'm going to continue to work hard for you guys and get back on the horse and be a little more minimalist. So look forward to, I promise I'm getting the St. Lucia video done this week. There probably won't be a live stream this week because I'll be spending a couple days putting that video together, doing some voiceover work for it, and just really coming up with a nice video of my adventure and the pretty much life-changing soul-searching I did on that trip, and contrasting a little bit with my trip to Disney. There'll be another separate video for the Disney trip with a separate perspective on what I think of that. But overall, I'm happy with the things that have happened for me and to me, and that I've worked hard to make happen in a lot of cases as well since I left trucking, and I have not wanted to get back in the truck. I could. I'm still technically employed by the trucking company I left. I don't know how. I don't know how they haven't just taken me off the books at this point, because I haven't worked for them in quite a while now, and it's amazing that they still have me. But I could tomorrow walk in and get back in the truck, but I don't want to. I really don't. I'm fulfilled with the lesser income with the more flexible time period. If I need a day off, I can just say, you know what, today's a fucking day off. I don't want to. I have a drive to get things done. But I have the option. And the freedom of that, of being able to nurture relationships, to be there for people that otherwise I was on the road all the time and I couldn't, be there for anybody, or nobody could be there for me either. That wouldn't have been possible working 70 hours a week in trucking. And so I haven't looked back. And the things that have been happening, it's been weird. It's been fucking weird. I never would have pictured picking up a car either. And by the way, the debt that I have is interest-free for this vehicle. A family member loaned me some money. So, at least I'm doing that right as far as the debt goes. Not going to be paying interest. So, that's what's up with minimalism. Sorry if I failed anybody as far as inspiration goes for becoming minimalist. But I'm still minimalist. I'm still living far below my means, even in terms of income versus outgo. But I'm still got to work. I still got to make sure I'm not financially independent. I have debt, and I still have to make that happen. I'd like to be financially independent someday, but honestly, I find that if you work hard at the things you're passionate at, that the money and opportunities come. If I work hard at photography, for example, I am not marketing my photography. I have not taken any steps to share my business, my photography business, yet I'm getting bookings. I've got a client here in February. I'm booked to go back to St. Lucia again this year, full ride, and that's a barter deal, but that's a hell of an awesome trade, if you ask me. The amount, maybe 3-4 weeks of work to pay for a trip to a paradise, and I got other bookings that are not locked in yet, but are on the way, and I haven't marketed because it's photography hasn't been my full-time focus. YouTube has. But it blows me away that these things are happening. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go and drive around and shit and make a little money tonight. I want to close this video out by sending a special thank you to Dave in MSP, who is clearly a self-proclaimed baller, by the way. Probably not a minimalist. Who has contributed very, very generously to the channel. He's been a patron on Patreon. He was one of the first people on the $50 tier back when I was doing all the Patreon shit. He's contributed through Super Chat on more than one occasion. And he's contributed through ScottTheTruckDriver.com. And the fact that he's done all of this, I was humbled by his generosity. And it's hard to even put into words that somebody values what I do to that degree as far as YouTube is concerned, that they're helping me do this full time. And it is full time. Don't get me wrong, I put at least 40 hours a week on YouTube alone, if not 60 or 70, depending on how much Uber I sprinkle in and other things I do. But it's really humbling. And it also wouldn't have happened if I was still trucking. So a lot of these videos you can credit Dave and MSP for. He is one of the biggest contributors to the channel thus far. There are many people, though, that do contribute to the channel and make these videos possible and to make, this channel grow. And it's growing. And it's helping a lot of people. I get letters all the time. I get comments all the time thanking me, telling me that people are getting off medication because of my work. People are losing tons of weight because of my work. And none of this would have happened if not for the generosity of those that have contributed, of the subscribers that sit through the ads, everyone has done their part that's watching my videos and doing all of that to make this a viable way. And you're helping me also maintain my health because you guys hold me accountable. I can't, fuck up. I'm not supposed to fuck up. I do fuck up, and then I get back on the horse. But if it weren't for you guys holding me accountable, I might not get back on the fucking horse. I might fall off the motherfucker and be like, fuck it. And a lot of people do that. But you guys keep me going. Just as much as I help you, you guys help me on the path to a healthier, better life. So I want to thank all of you for that as well. If you like my shit and you want me to make more shit, please like and subscribe, and I'll do the best I can. Also, link in the description if you thought this video was worthwhile to help you. I can't imagine how this particular video helped anyone, so I can understand if nobody wants to, but there's a tip jar at ScottTheTruckDriver.com. I also have a podcast available at ScottTheTruckDriver.com. The link is in the description. There's also a recommended products page for some Amazon links you can click on to buy things related to fasting, minimalism, ketogenic diet, all the things I cover. I've been gradually adding things to that, so if you're interested in things that can help you on your journey, that will be there. And thank you all. But remember, I'm not a fucking expert. I'm not even an expert, definitely not an expert at minimalism, but I'm working on it. I keep researching. I got some books on my reading list right now for minimalism on how to do it a little bit better. But I'm going to get better at this minimalist shit and at living minimally to maximize my happiness, life, and to help share that experience with you guys so that if you wanted to make some of the similar choices, not all of them necessarily, it doesn't fit for everyone, I don't think, but anything I can do to help, that's why I'm here. Shit. So have a nice motherfucking day and shit.